Welcome back. It's Ashleigh here, and today I'm coming at you guys with a furniture flip. I literally feel like I have not done a video for furniture flip in a long time, so here we go. I picked this dresser up from the Goodwill, and I go to a particular Goodwill here because they always have the best things for cheap, and this is one of them. So let's get to flipping. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, of course, is wash down this piece and make sure it is nice and clean. Now it's time to remove the hardware. It's sanding time. Okay, so while sanding, I noticed that these screws over here are rusted, so we're gonna have to replace those. Now it's time to put on our first coat of paint. All right, so now I'm going to use my roller and I'm gonna roll on the second coat to the drawers. All right, so on the side here, this piece of veneer is coming off, so I'm just going to use my E6000 and glue it back. All right, so now we're going to use our citrus stripper. This is my first time using the spray paint kind. I would not recommend this if you were doing a big piece, but something small like this, you can use the can. So after we finish stripping, I'm just going to take my stripping brush and also my sander and just make sure that I smooth my wood out and make sure that I have gotten all the finish off. All right, so now I'm going to use this Goo Off after wash and remove the finish that's in the middle. Alright, so now I'm going to take my dark walnut stain and I'm going to start to stain around the door, and I definitely should have done this before I painted. So one thing I like to do is use E6000 to fix my veneer. If your veneer is not missing completely, this is a perfect way to fix it and it saves you money. Also, if you are missing like a little chip of veneer like up here on the top right, I like to use Bondo to fix that and fill it in and sand it out, and then you're good to go. Now I'm going to take my Waverly plaster in hazelnut and I am going to start to dry brush the outside of the door. This is super simple. You just dab on some paint. Then after you dab the paint, you're going to take your paper towel or rag and dab it out. And then you are going to lightly start to brush it on whatever surface you would like to dry brush. All right, so after my E6 is dried, I'm just going to start to paint the bottom portion of the dresser. It is time to start planking. All right, so after the top is planked, I'm just going to start to stain it. Now the stain I already have on there is weathered oak, and now I'm putting the dark walnut on top of it. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace my wood so that I can create my design that I want to cut out on the side. After we have everything cut out, I'm going to use my clamps, and I'm just going to clamp it in place so that then I can easily cut with my jigsaw. So now that I've finished cutting, I'm just going to take my sander and start to round out the edges and smooth the top surface. Now we're going to take our stain and clean up where we sanded the edges. Okay, so now I'm going to use my palm sander, and I'm going to start to distress my drawers. I don't know what happened to the rest of my footage, but I just want to show you guys that this is how I distressed the piece. All right, so now we're just going to start prepping our hardware for spray painting. All right, so now I'm going to measure out this piece of plywood that's going to go on the bottom sides of the dresser. Here, my good old husband is going to be cutting this piece of wood for me because it is something about the table saw that I do not like. And he just does it way better than I do. So this is the side of the dresser that we are going to be covering with the plywood. And what I'm just going to do is line it up to the sides. And then I'm going to take my nail gun and nail it into the sides. Now it's time to decoupage the drawers. And what I'm going to first do is start to trace out what I want to be decoupaged. I did this to all of the drawers and the sides of the drawers. Now, after I have traced it out, I'm just going to cut it out. So this part you don't have to do, but I'm just doing it to remove all the wrinkles. Now I'm just going to wipe down the piece to make sure there's no residue, and then I'm going to start to add my glue. Now you're going to place the fabric on top, and you want to make sure that there are no bubbles, no wrinkles, no nothing. And then you're going to go back over it with your Mod Podge. Alright guys, so we are all done, and here's the finished product. The bottom is sealed with wax, and the top is sealed with matte polyurethane and boiled linseed oil. I love the way this turned out. Super cute, country chic. And if you guys liked it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And I will see you guys in my next video.